I've been living in Georgia for over a year, and in that time, I've seen many people come here and make the same avoidable mistakes that either cause them to waste a bunch of time or even to leave and never end up getting the proper setup done for themselves. So in this video, I'm going to give you the honest list of things that go wrong, especially in the first 30 days, so you know what to look out for and exactly how you can avoid making those same mistakes. So if you are planning to visit Georgia, make sure you watch this video first. Now, for quick context, I'm Australian. I've been living in Georgia for over a year. I travel from Georgia. Georgia is my base. I pay my tax here. I own property here. And this is where I continue to live moving forward at this stage. I also run a free school community called the 1% Club, which is made up of people who are interested in visiting Georgia, moving to Georgia, networking in Georgia, and whatever that might look like. So the mistakes I'm going to go through in this video are not just my own, but even some that I've seen from members in our community, questions that have been asked, and things that I know many people aren't aware of when they come here. So what I'm going to do is break down the 7 mistakes, some financial, some logistical, that many people make, especially when they first arrive. And I'm going to give you the exact breakdown of each, why it's a big problem, and how to avoid it. Now, mistake number 1, which I also did myself, is arriving without a virtual address and trying to go and register your IE. When I arrived to register my IE, which is my individual entrepreneur business, I went to register at the public service hall. I was all excited, and it turned out that the address proof that I had, which was a letter from the Airbnb host I was staying with, was not sufficient. You need to get your virtual address sorted before you go to sign up for the IE, or it most likely won't go through, and you will go through the headache of trying to get proof of address, trying to change things, and get it all set up. Now, the fix is very simple. Jump online before you arrive. You pay about $200 for the year. If you go into the school community I mentioned before, it'll be the first link in the description. I will connect you guys with the people that I use for my virtual address, but there are many online that you can find. Make sure you have a virtual address ready to use before you go to sign up for your IE. Now, mistake number 2 is going to sign up for a business or a bank account or anything else without getting a local SIM card first. A local SIM should be the first step before you go and sign up for anything else. You will need a local phone number for most things. You can go to a MAGT store as soon as you arrive with your passport, and they will get you set up very quickly. It's an absolute necessity for banks, for business registrations, and for anything else. So go straight to a MAGT, get your unlimited SIM, get your data sorted, and also get your phone number, which you can use for 2FA codes and everything else. So that should be your first priority after you drop your bags off if you're setting up anything in Georgia. Now, mistake number 3 that I see a lot of is that many people come to Georgia with a pre-formed opinion of which city is going to be best for them based off YouTube videos, mine included. But the truth is, at the end of the day, you're going to want to check out each city before you settle down, especially Batumi and Tbilisi, because those are the main 2 that you're likely going to choose from. And so many people come here that I've seen have gone to Batumi first or gone to Tbilisi first and ended up preferring the other, even though they expected to prefer the opposite. So definitely check them both out. They are both very different. Batumi is a beach city, very calm, a little bit cheaper, gets very busy in the summertime though with tourists and filled with casinos, things like that. Tbilisi is a genuine city, you know, very artsy vibe. There is a lot of different food places, which is great, a big range of food, really like an international city compared to somewhere like Batumi. So definitely check those out. There's a lot more people in Tbilisi too, so it's going to depend entirely on what's better for you, but I would absolutely check them before you lock one in. Now, mistake number 4 that I see a lot of is people who will come here, set up their IE, either not bother with the tax residency side of things or just set it up, get the tax residency even, and then continue to bill through a separate entity and not invoice that entity from the IE and just not have their structure set up properly. So I would absolutely suggest that you chat with at least a Georgian accountant or an accountant in your home country to make sure that your setup is working properly. Do not just set up your IE, not run any money through the bank account of the IE, just run it all through a separate entity and then report it as income here and hope to pay tax on it, because that is not the way that it's done. You want to make sure that your structure is set up properly for your taxes and for your making sure that everything is above board. So definitely chat with professionals about your setup before you proceed and start billing and paying tax anywhere new. So that leads me into mistake number 5, which is bouncing in and out of Georgia, thinking that you're going to be paying taxes here, but not paying any attention to the 183-day rule. Now, Georgia has a 183-day rule for taxes unless you are a high net worth individual. So you want to make sure you're doing 183 days in any 365-day rolling period. Now, that then, say you get that I'm about to mid this month because I arrived in November, that gives me my tax certificate for 2026. You want to make sure you have that tax certificate because that is going to be the biggest proof to your home country that you are a tax resident somewhere else. You're paying your taxes there and you're no longer a resident of that country. So again, get your specific situation assessed properly, but you want to make sure you're tracking your days and getting that 183-day rule. And when you do cross over 183 days, get the certificate made. So you have it there, it's done, and then you're sorted. So make sure you are keeping tabs and planning to hit that 183 days every year. Now, mistake number 6 that I see a lot of in Georgia is people registering for an IE and not immediately applying for small business status and thinking they're paying 1% tax. So the individual entrepreneurship business structure and small business status are two separate processes, separate applications, and there's a gap between. So once you get your IE registered at the public service hall, it's going to take probably a couple days if you went with the standard option. Once that's done, you can access the revenue services and then you can apply for small business status. You don't pay the 1% tax rate until you've got small business status approved. So wait for your IE to get approved, get your access, jump into the revenue services, and immediately apply for small business status. Do not make the mistake of thinking because you've got your IE, you're good to go, because an IE by default does not pay 1% tax. It pays the normal tax rate, and then you have to get the small business status scheme on top of that to get your 1% tax. Now, mistake number 7 that I see often, especially from people coming over from Europe or countries close by, they may be leaving their home country for the first time and coming to Batumi, is underestimating how long it takes to settle. If you've never traveled extensively, you haven't spent long times away, and you're moving your whole life over to Georgia or Batumi or Tbilisi, wherever you're moving to specifically, and you think you're just going to slot right in and get straight to work, you need to account for the time it's going to take you to get your head around everything. Eastern Europe is very different to the West and many other parts of the world. So it takes time to learn everything, to get your head around everything, to learn the new map and figure out where you're at. So absolutely give yourself enough time. Don't plan a 2-day trip to come and check it out, because by the time you get here, settle in, go to sleep and wake up, your trip's pretty much over. You want to give yourself time, make sure you have time to set yourself up properly and leave your options open. Stay as flexible as you can, as with all travel, to make sure that you're settling properly. So guys, those are the 7 mistakes that I commonly see here in Georgia. Let me know in the comments if you think that I've missed any, but these are big. I see these all the time. Like I said, especially from a lot of people coming over from Europe, and because it's not so far, kind of just assuming that it's going to be the same sort of thing and they can quickly slip in and get everything going. They'll miss steps, they'll come in and get things wrong. So guys, make sure you go through these. Like I said, check out the school community and go drop any questions that you have in there or leave them in the comments. I look forward to seeing your questions, answering, interacting with you guys, and meeting many more of you here. I appreciate you watching the video. I hope it has been helpful, and I will look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.